time of Euro 2024 predictions. I'm going to be reacting low-key to Portugal. That game, whoa, Breton. You want to hear everything, people at home? Like this video, and I have some news. That in this video, we will send 3 white hoodies to the people that guess right the results of the games that we're going to be talking. Okay, people? And if no one gets it right, that look, I'm being hopeful with you guys. We will send, regardless, 3 hoodies to those people too. Okay, so go bold and like this video and subscribe to our channel. And yes, let's get to it, Breton. Spain, Georgia, from the left to the right of the brackets. And we want to see you guys commenting. How are you feeling with this?
Oh, I love the story. Georgia, first time, debutantes in the tournament. Willy Sagnol, right? At the helm. You've got Kvaratskhelia. You've got Mamardashvili in goal, standing on his head. I mean, both of those guys are 23 years old. And I know we shouldn't be focusing on the past, but we have to say how awesome that Cinderella story is what it's called here is for Georgia. But they are facing the best team right now, form-wise, in this tournament, obviously next to Germany. You could say co-leaders, if you will. And they're facing a team that has not conceded goals yet and will not concede, and I'm sorry, you might want to plug your ears, Alex, will not concede soft goals like Portugal did on the counter in that penultimate game, that last game of the group stages. So I do have to say, yeah, well, there you go. That's true. That's true. But Spain is going to overwhelm Georgia. I think Georgia will put in one heck of a fight. I think they've got a hell of a future ahead of them. And I think Mamardashvili, you know what? Even if they're only making it to the round of 16, based on that alone, I think he should be still in the running, even if their tournament ends here for the Golden Glove.
Oh, completely. Mamardashvili had the best game in Euro 2024 with 11 saves against Czech Republic and against us. He was a wall. Confident, and he's the future. One of the best under 23 goalkeepers in the world, okay? He's 23 years old. Kvaratskhelia too. Unreal, and I want to agree with you, and I want the people at home to say in the comments if they agree or not, okay? Go bold, people, for those hoodies. And I want to state, the live odds right now, the odds-on favorites towards winning Euro 2024, it's England, France, and Spain. It's not Portugal. I'm realistic. It's not Germany. Those are the 3 odds-on favorite for the bookies right now. And Spain, why are they so dominant? Spain has a young team, just like Georgia too, but Spain, Pedri, Lamine Yamal, this is different breed what we have here. The Barca youth. And right now, Spain, 0 goals conceded in the competition. The only national team to be the case, and 100% victorious. The only team that has this stat line. Unreal what Luis de la Fuente is doing. Lamine Yamal,
and there's room,
most exciting duo of the competition.
Yeah, and there's room for improvement, right? I mean, they had the most big chances created. They also had the most big chances missed. But, you know, it is a young team that will be growing into this. It depends on whether or not, and I'm not saying that I actually think this, but it depends on whether or not, you know, once you step up a notch and you're into the knockout rounds, whether any of these young bucks, any of these young guys that have been so fundamental for Spain and the way that they play, right? Whether or not any of them buckle under pressure in any way, shape, or form. And that might be a worry, but it's not something that you can actually hang your hat on, because right now they're playing free man. They're playing enjoyable soccer to watch. And yes, that's a subtle dig at England. We'll talk about them in a little bit. But they are going against a team that is cohesive, a team that is ready to fight for that final inch. I mean, Willy Sagnol has them all fighting for each other. You've got old guys from Major League Soccer, Guram Kashia back at center back. You've got the Golden Boot leader in George Mikatadze, if we're not, you know, collectively counting Mr. Own Goal, who plays for an unidentified country, who's still leading the way with, what, 7 or 8 goals in this tournament.
VAR.
But
and
VAR. Oh, yeah, they're always up there, right? But there is a beautiful collection of talent on one side.
It's true.
I just think Spain, when all is said and done, defense is going to win it. I don't think defense is going to crack in this, and that's why Spain is a favorite. That's why France is still a favorite. That's why England is still a favorite, because believe it or not, they all have pretty dang good defenses, even if they can't get their offense to do anything.
True.
Right?
True. It's very
So-
true, and they don't have the best managers.
True.
But
True.
still, I think and personally, we've said it in the past. Tell us who's the best manager in your opinion, people. I want to see your thoughts. Mine is Julian Nagelsmann in Euro 2024. Leave your thoughts on YouTube because it helps us a lot here at FC Wonder Kid. Go bold, okay, people? And so, interesting what you said in Georgia. Just my last thing about Georgia. It's the first time of Georgia in a European competition. Georgia, in their third game, beat Portugal the way they did. I'm Portuguese, but I felt sad, extremely sad for what I saw. But I got to admit, Georgia, I saw the most important game of the history of many of these players, and I got to respect what I saw. Kvaratskhelia went bold with that goal. Mika Tautze went bold. Mamarchvili went bold. They have a phenomenal team. Kvisha Kvaratskhelia, before he celebrated the win, he went to Ronaldo and he hugged him.
Yeah.
That meant everything for me because I recognize him as my hero too. And Kvaratskhelia, thank you. Thank you for that moment because that was the world of football. You showed you were humble. And that for me means so much. Before the biggest celebration of his life, he even stated, this is the best day of my life, Kvisha Kvaratskhelia. So I'm just wanted to give this dedication to him. And Mika Tadze was one in our underrated video, okay, people?
Yeah.
In which Mika Tadze had 14 goals scored for Metz. So listen to what we say, people. Subscribe to our channel right here. And I'm going to go bold and say straight away, I think Spain's going to go through, even though I give this heartfelt mention. And I think they're going to play against Germany. Sorry, Denmark. Martin Huilmand. Now the world knows what's happening at Sporting with Gyökeres and Huilmand. Two ballers, okay? England, no first hand with that goal. But still, I think it's going to be Spain, Germany in this side of the bracket. Germany.
I think you're right. And how tough is that, right? How first off, we can talk about the format in the future, but I think it needs to be extended. We need 32 teams in the future. I don't care about the watering down. It's just so we can have two move on. Anyway, games, no? Beyond that. Yeah, but come on. Spain versus Georgia, Germany versus Denmark, two of the most exciting teams in the tournament, two of the main favorites right now in our opinions, right, are going to face each other in the quarterfinals. And I know. We've seen it before. It happens. It's happened in the World Cup. It's happened many, many times. It'll happen again regardless of this. But anyway, it is a tough reality of what we've got to face. And I'm with you. I love Denmark. I do love what they do. I just don't think that they have that cohesion. I hate to already overuse that term that they had due to really adverse circumstances. But
Eriksen,
and Højlund hasn't gotten going.
True.
I mean, there's just kind of some worries that I have there, and I think Germany's going to pick that apart. And a lot of that we'd be talking in very different fashion if it was not Toni Kroos running the midfield. Just one random stat. You're going to look at progressive passes in the entirety of the group stage. Toni Kroos had 57 progressive passes in 3 games. The next best, Alex, had 27.
Oh.
Kevin De Bruyne had 25.
Ooh.
He had 35 or 22, I think, something like that. He had 35 more than Kevin De Bruyne.
Oh my!
I mean, it tells you all you need to know about how this team thinks. And you do have to circle that back. I think you're right to a Julian Nagelsmann. And that is why I think Germany will be moving through this because it is. It's convincing. It's exciting. And I don't think Denmark, say, has the ability or the ability to have some individual performance that really mucks up Germany's kind of cohesion there. I think Germany goes through, and it's going to be one of the saddest quarterfinals but most exciting quarterfinals to watch in near memory, and that will be Spain-Germany.
It'll be very good, mate. And we're gonna watch it together here in Portugal, people. Okay, we're gonna go bold with a lot of content when Breton is here. We've revealed this in previous podcasts, and this is gonna be crazy, Breton, to film. Your reactions before, it's gonna be crazy. Oh my days! And I agree with what a lot you said. And I was thinking to myself, where's Mikkel Damsgaard? Where's Eriksen being a lot more involved in goal? Where's Pierre-Emile Højbjerg much more confident? Hoyland had to Hulman had to score the goal. So I agree kind of with what you said about Denmark. There's the lack of goals. That's the feeling I get. And with Germany, we saw Germany firsthand in those first 2 games of Euro 2024. Fully confident Germany. Wirtz, Musiala. Musiala is in the team of the tournament in the group stage for me. Toni Kroos definitely for sure. And Kimmich even could be there, okay? Elite right back choice from Nagelsmann. Germany are one of the favorites. And look, we are going to have other predictions maybe for Spain, Germany, okay? Even though we say these ones. So subscribe to see those ones posted afterwards, okay, people? But yes, Germany, the team to beat maybe in this side. But you said it's so sad, Breton. Euro 2024, the 6 favorites, 5 of them are seated on one side, okay, people? We have France, Belgium, Spain, Portugal, and Germany. It's mad. England, if they had the top manager, I don't reckon Southgate's that. If they had it, they'd be favorites 100% with that side of the bracket. It's mad.
Yeah,
it's mad.
It's true, and their bracket though is a minefield though of teams that just have momentum, teams that have chutzpah, right? Teams that are coming off of massive highs and playing really really good football. So I don't know. I when it comes to it, wouldn't you rather play the best to get through to the final? You're gonna have to beat them at some point anyway. But yeah, the pre-tournament favorites were who? France, England, Portugal. I mean, I didn't know that this was going to happen, but I did say really early on, very early on, that I did feel like one of the outsider contenders would step up. And did I think Spain would already progress this much through the group stage? And let's be honest, knockout round is a different beast. True. It's a different beast. We'll see if Spain continues to level up. But I still do stick to it that outside the top 3 pre-tournament favorites, that is where your champion will come. And this bracket just helps me in that prediction.
Not France and not Portugal.
Yeah, I don't think England's winning out of that side of the bracket, even if you quantify it as easy or easier. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But
will an underdog win this tournament, people? Okay, we see Austria, Georgia, Romania. So. We got to give credit
everybody
where
feels vulnerable.
It's true.
They all feel vulnerable, and that is you know what? Let's be honest. Aside from your fandom, where your fandom lies, that is exactly what you want in an international tournament. That is exactly what you want. A little that feeling of parity, right?
And then you have Copa America.
Oh, gosh,
we all have the feeling where it's going. It's like floating.
Brazil.
The tournament.
Brazil. Oh my God.
Brazil. Oh no, 0-0. I get you. Sarcasm. But next one.
Next.
So we agree with Germany. Next one. Okay, it's time for Portugal. Portugal, Slovenia. I'm gonna say it first. I don't think we're gonna beat Slovenia easily. They have Oblak.
Oh.
They have, yeah. I'm saying that.
Oh, no. You said easily. There was like a tiny pause, like a large enough pause that I was like, I'm sorry, you don't think Portugal's going to beat Slovenia? Okay.
Easily.
No, easily. But you said easily. No, I got you now.
I'm going to be easily. We're going to beat them. But if we don't, I'm going to be extremely sad. It's not like Morocco. Morocco was the first African team ever in the history of the World Cup to go to the semifinal. What we witnessed was greatness from the Moroccan team, okay, and many players. Slovenia, I like Česko, I like Sporar. I think Oblak, more than 60 caps for Slovenia. They have a team that's going to make... It's a historic team for them, going through already in the group stage. So we need to do what a big team does, what a big nation does, and it's win these types of games, okay? That has to be first said. Very sad about what happened. I think the positive is... Bruno Fernandes rested, Bernardo Silva rested. They had long seasons. And another positive is we know who to play in the top games now. We know who to play. Yeah. No doubt, okay, after this group stage, Portugal. We know that António Silva, I think he has a lot of potential, even though the whole world is on top of him, that, okay, I understand with those mistakes. Okay, eu sou português, eu percebo que it's hard, but I'm going to back him, okay? I've seen a lot of him. I think he has top potential. But yes, it's not to play against the France right now. Pep, Ruben Dias. No doubt. Pep, Ruben Dias, if they started, we wouldn't have lost that game. the way we did. Okay, I wanted that to be said, and yeah, that's why Portugal's going to go through against Slovenia.
Yeah, and I'm with you there. I mean, Benjamin Sesko, I think, is due for a goal of some sorts. I think he can test any back line
No
right
goals
now
still.
with his combination of strength, speed, no goals. And I think he is the X factor in this, whether or not he goes like Zlatan on you guys or something.
Not
Not
Christian.
that Zlatan is, yeah, but you were never going to avoid this particular draw, right? If you were going to win your Group F, you won it with like 2/3 possession, right? 67% possession. You created a whole bunch of chances. And you are averaging, I think, second most in the Euros in shots per game. It's just a matter of putting those chances away and obviously having the stability on the field. And yeah, that there were 7 or 8 changes in that game versus Georgia. I think that was way too many for Roberto Martinez. You can only hope that what was given, the rest that was given to the guys on the pitch, or off the pitch, I should say, actually comes to serve a purpose later in the round. But there are so many players that are going to be running on exhaust anyway in this tournament that I just feel like what was one more. And I do need to bring up, right, Antonio Silva. You already mentioned his potential. It is still so high. It's just there's a mental part of his game that is going to need to get better over time. And that's a part of the process. That is 100% a part of the process. I mean, this is not a proper comparison of players because Antonio Silva has insane possible reaches out there, right? His ceiling is so incredibly high. He's still so young. But take a guy just from, I'm wearing a USA shirt because they're playing tonight. They're in Copa America. Take a guy like Tim Ream. This guy, at 23, 24, 26, 27, nobody wanted him on the U.S. side. And now at 36, 37 years old, he has figured out the mental part of the game to at least play to his capacity. It's not going to take Antonio Silva that long. No way in heck.
He's next to
Pep. He's absolutely fine. He's good. But it is a worry. It is a worry.
Every center back in football, if you're not Maldini, okay, because Maldini was the boldest, okay, the best center back in the world ever for me, next to Beckenbauer and Bobby Moore, and Pep. Yeah. I'm gonna put there. Portuguese bias or not, Pep. The longevity. I've never seen a 41-year-old play 120 minutes in the Champions League and to be the most important center back, debatably, in the competition next to Akanji too, which phenomenal. Next to Calafiori, very bold, the aura and all that. So it's Breton. This is we gotta go bold, man. Gotta go bold.
I know, but I do need to ask you something. You're sticking with Ronaldo starting. Period. I'm not saying Gonzalo Ramos did much better when he came in. I'm just saying,
Slovenia.
How much
You're my team.
Against Slovenia, definitely.
I think we're going to align with a team very similar to what we did with Turkey. I would play, personally, Portugal against Slovenia. We're going to play against a team that has 2 strong center backs. He could decide to play 3 at the center, 3 at the back too. I wouldn't be shocked, okay, if Roberto Martinez said, look, I'm going to play against Spogar and Benjamin Sesko. We got to put 3 center backs there. 2 at least needs to be man-to-man marking. But I like to think he wants his style of play to be the most dominant. So Portugal must play, in my point of view, against Slovenia with a Diogo Costa, Nuno Mendes, Pep, Ruben Dias, and I would put Cancelo or Dalot. I'm fine with either. Then my 3 in midfield, I'm going to go bold with João Palhinha, with Vitinha, and with Bruno Fernandes. We never lost a game with Bruno Fernandes since the World Cup. That needs to be stated. Bruno Fernandes is unreal when he plays with us. Then left wing, Rafael Leão if he's back from suspension. But I like Diogo Jota, and then Cristiano. And at the right, I'm going to put Bernardo Silva, man of the match against Turkey. And that's the thing. We got to be confident. Vitinha was in the Champions League team of the season, people. Okay, we're not talking about Vitinha like he's a scrub. He's an elite player. I know Fabian Ruiz in Spain. I know Florian Wirtz with Germany. Kevin De Bruyne with Belgium. Camavinga's on the bench with France. So many options. Griezmann.
Oh, my gosh.
But we have to believe in what we have, and what we have is a quality. Okay, so Portugal, I think they're going to go through with Slovenia, and we're going to get the French in the quarterfinals. And if we get the Belgium, it's fine too, okay? It's fine too.
Right.
But France, Be ready because we're going to beat you
Yeah.
guys. And Cristiano, bora lá, Cristiano. Bora lá, Cristiano.
Well, before we move on, I do want to give Slovenia their just dues, right? You've got Eric Janza. All I could recommend to Portugal is close him down. Don't let him shoot from far out. He's already got 2 goals, I believe, in this competition. And then you also have Jaka Bijol, I think. Good younger center back, 25 years old. Just been phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal for Slovenia. I remember him coming up at CSKA, and then I'm not entirely sure if he's still there. No. Where is he? He's at Udinese. He's at Udinese. That's right. But he was at CSKA early on, and that I remember in So Rare picking him up very early. But Slovenia, I still think the X factor is Šeško. I mean, if he can turn into somebody that's always kind of like he's barking but not quite biting. He needs to bite against Portugal if they want any chance, because I think this third game, to use pardon my French, but like this third game is gonna piss the starting 11 of Portugal off. Gone is that, hey, we could beat you with our backups. Right? We could beat Georgia with our backups. We could go, far in the round of 16, and maybe on a different day, that's the case. But that depth was tested, and that depth did not deliver. So that you're 100% correct in that you already know your starting 11 pretty much all throughout the round of 16, and it needs to happen.
No.
The knockout rounds, I should say.
Some substitutions can happen. I think João Neves could go through. Pedro Neto could go through. Francisco Conceição, even though we lost with Georgia, he was the player that you could see true passion with Francisco Conceição. I said it.
True.
Playing with Malta, Spain, Georgia, whoever, he's going to have that same dedication. I got to respect Francisco Conceição. Top talent. So if we play France, I recognize the talent. Belgium, you get that feeling. They're always one step away in terms of how they play.
Yes.
In terms of expectation. Lukaku, one step away, top player, I understand that. Top qualification, 14 goals, but they're one step away. So I'm not going to put my bets on Belgium. I think Kevin De Bruyne is going to have a masterclass, and France are ready. So I think Kylian Mbappe, Master Mbappe, or Kevin De Bruyne with Belgium, I'm going to be picking Master Mbappe, okay? And it might be the last Euros of Griezmann as a starter of France. It could be the last Euros. Well. So he could want to go bold. And Deschamps, the confidence of Deschamps in this French team, it's not like in World Cup times. Are you feeling me, Bretson? I don't get that feeling. So
no, I don't get that feeling either. They're vulnerable.
Let's see.
They are.
Exactly.
Their defense is what has been doing phenomenally. In fact, outstanding. William Saliba has been good. Upamecano has been pretty good. Magnon, obviously, I think behind Mamarchvili deserves a shout out. We didn't mention Oblak, who you guys are going to be facing, who's actually rounding into decent form. But France, I didn't mention him, sorry. But France versus Belgium, you're right. I mean, Belgium is just, they feel one step away. They're really capable, we know, of creating magic, whether it's through De Bruyne or we know Lukaku every once in a while can do something. It just feels like he's snake bitten. And I think if you want something to happen against France, I don't think Tedesco is going to do this, but start Openda and start Lukaku and figure out a way to get them, because Openda can get to the line, can get that cross back in that danger zone. I mean, it just hasn't been happening. And you want to talk about all bark, no bite type of situation when we talked about Šeško earlier. That is essentially Jeremy Doku and Romelu Lukaku right now in the Belgian offense in a nutshell, right? They are all bark, no bite, and somebody's got to bite. And I think France is vulnerable. I honestly do. And I think France, this is in this particular round of this left side of the bracket.
Mbappe, man.
I'm going to say it right now. I think this is the biggest chance that we'll see for an upset, for sure.
On which side? So the left side.
On this left side, I think Belgium has a chance, a very good chance to beat France. It's whether or not that defense cracks. And I don't see it happening necessarily. I still have France going through. But Belgium is more than capable if they make some personnel switches. Trossard's not doing it for me. You need Tielemans in there. There are some changes that need to happen. I think Lukaku and Openda need to start, even if it ends up with them getting too attack heavy. I don't care. Get it done. And I think Doku at some point will hit the target. So I think France is vulnerable here. And I don't want to scream it through from the rooftops. I'm screaming it from like the third floor of the skyscraper right now. So very timid upset watch. I'm saying it.
Interesting enough. Interesting enough. So tell us if you agree with us that the left side of the bracket of the quarterfinals of Euro 2024 will be Spain, Germany, and Portugal, France. We're going with these ones, but Belgium could surprise, like Breton is hinting, okay? And Belgium winning the whole thing, that would be insane, okay? Since a lot of people don't mention Belgium in the same sentence as Spain, Portugal, France, and that's in Germany, obviously. But now, the big question that we hinted at the start of this video, now we're going to hint it again. Will we see an underdog win Euro 2024? And if we win, more likely yes than not, it will be from the right side of the bracket of Euro 2024. First game, Romania, Netherlands. Romania, first time that they've gone through in the Euros, Romania. So it's a big competition for them. Historic. Dragusin, shout out to him. Great center back playing for Spurs too. I think that was a good buy against the Netherlands. But I don't know. Will we see the underdog win, Bretson?
Well, the funny thing is I guess the Netherlands is the underdog if you're taking group standings. No, but no, the Ronald Koeman masterclass, right? Where they underperform so much that they wind up getting starry Romania, but you wind up getting the weakest group winner on paper. With that said, Romania has some very good players. Denis Dragush, like you said, Dragosan. Giannis Hadji. I mean, come on. I haven't seen him do much just yet, but Hadji's son, Georgie Hadji's son. And if you tuned in the last time, you heard my little personal story of actually watching Georgie Hadji in the '94 World Cup. But I think the Netherlands will hopefully learn from their mistakes. Cody Gakpo's firing on not all cylinders, but he's the one scoring. I think Memphis Depay and Xavi Simons will catch up at some point. What I am most surprised about, Alex, here is that Virgil van Dijk hasn't been phenomenal, especially in this particular type of environment. I feel like they were born for this. And yeah, a guy that was simply amazing for PSV Eindhoven this season. Joey Veerman has gotten his chance, and he was yanked after 33 minutes in kind of almost like a walk of shame. And it was brutal. I mean, he barely completed passes. It was as if he forgot to play football, forgot how to play football. But I think the Netherlands is stacked with talent. They're just not playing well right now. They're just not playing well, you know? And I think getting this particular type of a vibes team that is still vulnerable, I think is almost going to be a great kind of cut your teeth event for them to maybe rev the engines some. So I am going to say Netherlands goes through on this one, and I think Memphis Depay will score, and I think Xavi Simons will have a assist in this particular game.
Completely, Breton. I think I'm going to agree with you there. And Netherlands, I think, are going to go through against Romania. I'm not going to go for the underdog. It's a wonderful story. But I think the Netherlands will want and will have the chance to redeem themselves against Austria of Ralf Rangnick. Okay, Ralf Rangnick ball, it's real. Okay, the influence this man has had in football is underrated. Okay, Ralf Rangnick influenced Thomas Tuchel, Jurgen Klopp. Okay, this is a fact. Okay, Julian Nagelsmann, he was impactful in all the decisions of these managers' careers, and Ralf Rangnick ball with Austria. It's been, not going to say phenomenal, but I think it's one of the most exciting things in Euro 2024. Sabitzer, Baumgartner, they clearly trust Ralf Seevold, exactly, Ralf Rangnick. Yeah. And that's why I believe they're going to go through against Turkey, even though the Turkish talent confirmed itself to be real with Kenan Yildiz, with Arda Güler. Arda Güler could be the biggest reference of Turkey in the next 10 years. Has all the possibilities of being just that, since he won the Champions League, first Turkish ever to win the Champions League. And already he's learned with Onikos that he's got Toni Kroos' last professional games in the Euros, and he's already played with him and was in the locker room with him. What they experienced. So Arda Güler, unreal. Kenan Yıldız too.
And here's what I expect with this game. Austria-Turkey, I expect an absolute shootout. Both of these defenses have, I believe, let up the most expected goals or top 3, top 4 most expected goals in the entire tournament. And I think it hopefully is going to be open, exciting. I mean, this one I'm going to have circled. I might even watch this over Romania, Netherlands. But yeah, Seevold, Baumgartner, it's all about, I think Ralf Rangnick is the difference maker in this scenario. That's why I have Austria over Turkey. Although Vincenzo? I think his name is Vincenzo Montella. Obviously has Turkey defying my initial prediction that they and Serbia were going to be once again continue their underperformers. But Montella has decided to play the young ones, and the young ones have delivered. They've also got a fullback in Mert Mulder, who would probably make my best 11 for the tournament, the group stages at least. At least he's got a candidate for best goal so far. But I think this will be a shooting match. I think it's going to come down to tactics. It's going to come down to the better coach. I think Ralf Rangnick is that right now. And Marko Arnautovic hasn't scored or has scored once. I don't know.
Scored once.
Yeah, he has scored once. That's right. A penalty. Yep. I think the X factor here, though, for Turkey to win is if one of their young ones, one of their wonder kids, can make some magic. Kenan Yıldız has been breaking ankles, and he's the one that I'm gonna identify beyond Arda Güler, who we know is going to assert himself. Kenan Yıldız will score in this game if Turkey's going to win.
And Kadioglu,
that's what I'm going to say.
He has to have a big game at left back too.
It's been a great tournament for him. Kind of like under the radar, sort of.
But yeah. They like that side, okay? Sabitzer likes to go there. Saifal likes to be there.
True.
It's going to be a big match for Kadioglu, okay? I'm gonna be very curious to see what we'll see. But we agree, Bretson. We've agreed pretty much, okay? With these predictions. Netherlands, Austria. Will we disagree now? But let us know. Have you agreed or disagreed with our thoughts until now for Euro 2024 in the comment section? 3 hoodies are in stake, people. 3 hoodies, okay?
3 hoodies.
So next game, England, Slovenia, the favorite that we're always hinting here in these and in the starts here in mid video. Now we're gonna talk about them. England, Slovakia. How you feeling? Slovakia.
Well, anyone that's expecting massive change from Gareth Southgate will not be appeased. He's not going to give in. We know Phil Foden has left camp. I believe he might be back before this game, or it might be the next game due to the birth of a child. But I guess there was progress in that he yanked Conor Gallagher and then put in Kobbie Mainoo, who I think deserves to start in this one. So there is kind of incremental progress when it comes to it. But if England wins this game, it's because their defense. I think Mark Gahey has been very good.
Stones,
and it's just so ridiculous to watch a team with Bukayo Saka, with Phil Foden, with Harry Kane, with Jude Bellingham. I mean, move Jude Bellingham back to the 8. And put Cole Palmer at the 10, or put Phil Foden if he was back in time at the 10, and like just let it. Right, a little bit.
Kobbie Mainoo, put Jude at the 8.
I know there for sure. But Jude, I think, will play better at the 8. But yes, he's not going to do that, right? Jude will play at the 10. He'll be kind of, I guess, unknown, unsuspecting. Maybe he'll jump up like a ninja and score a goal. But I haven't really heard much out of Jude since the first 15 minutes of the first game.
That was very poor.
That
was very poor. Last match. The last match. I was very shocked with the game of Jude Bellingham. For sure,
right.
Bretson.
But the defense here is everything. It is, right? 1.1 expected goals. It's the best in the tournament.
But
best in the tournament.
But that left side of the defense,
I know.
I'm like, I cringe myself. Look, maybe I feel too lucky that I have Nuno Mendes at left back, okay? And I can have Diogo Dalot and João Cancelo, and I think they still be better than what England have, okay, with Trippier and Luke Shaw. It could be bold for some people, but I think that's facts. Definitely Nuno Mendes better. So England, I think, yes, I agree with you. Center-back partnership. I think they're one of the best center back partnerships, if not the best, in Euro 2024 until now. John Stones with Mark Gahey. I think Walker is underrated for the right side. If England scores a goal, it's for what they do at the right side. That left side is non-existent right now for England. Saka, Walker, add some flair. Not too much. But who added a lot of flair was Cole Palmer. Once Cole Palmer came on, that right-hand side started to be mega active. Everyone woke up, in my point of view. In terms of creativity, Cole Palmer has that effect. He had it at Chelsea, and he's going to have much more next season. And England must trust Cole Palmer. It needs at least 45 minutes against Slovakia. At least, in my point of view. So, because Southgate doesn't go bold and put Jude Bellingham at 8, I agree with you, Brett, said that he'll put Kobe Maino and Declan Rice. And if it was us, I think we agree that we would put Jude, Rice, and Cole Palmer. Do you agree, Bretson?
Yeah. Yes.
Top notch.
I think Saka probably needs a little break, and to come in and be that difference maker off the bench would be huge for him.
Who would you put starting at the right? Bowen?
No.
Anthony Gordon?
No. Yeah. No. I mean, Gordon. Well, not Saka. Just not Saka. I mean, you know what? But, I mean, Bowen right now, I think. I'm gonna get yelled at, but Bowen deserves a shot because of his eagerness. I honestly think he'd be direct. I think he would get something done. I mean, when you're playing the teams that you were playing in England's group, when you're playing a team like Slovakia, direct is the way you probably gotta go. Saka, weirdly enough, hasn't felt like that. This is not Arsenal Saka. And that's really interesting. I don't think I'm that educated enough in terms of the mechanics of the game to be able to tell you exactly why that is. But somebody else can tell me in the comment section why I feel that way. But I do feel something more direct. I think Harry Kane is trying to do too much. But there's so much that... But there is so much that comes back to Southgate, right? There's that expression of freedom that we just feel like there's no freedom of expression is what I'm trying to say. And that I feel like is going to get them in hot water. I mean, I think England or Italy, to be honest, I think Switzerland is a favorite against Italy. And England is really, I don't think that they make it through to the final.
I
don't think they make it through to the final this
England, too. Afterwards, if it happens.
I honestly feel like the only thing that tells me no is so surface level. It's that Marat Yakin, the head coach for Switzerland, is getting very cocky. Talking about Italy first and saying it's not us that needs to worry about Italy. It's Italy that needs to worry about us.
True.
I think that's going to backfire. True. It could backfire. But I like the mind games. I like where I like where his head's at. But at the same time,
I mean, Switzerland's in Switzerland than I feel with Italy.
I agree.
I like Chiesa, obviously. Federico Chiesa. If he was injury-free these last 3 years, we could maybe see a world-class player playing against Switzerland. But the truth is, who was world-class was Granit Xhaka. That's underrated, maybe. People can hate me at home, say world-class is a player that plays in any team. You think Granit Xhaka wouldn't be good in a locker room like Real Madrid? He would have the tactical understanding, in my point of view, to be talking in that locker room, to be confident enough to be like in a Ceballos role. So Granit Xhaka is world-class for the season he had, only one defeat, and he was the main reason. Progressive passes, and now with Switzerland, he's the main reason too in terms of leadership. He's the voice, always communicating, and Akanji too underrated. And Sommer and Kobel, they might be like, in terms of national teams in the Euros, that's the best two keepers in a team right now. Or Donnarumma Vicario, that's a debate. Or Unai Simon David Raya, that's maybe a debate, Breton, but maybe I'm being too cocky like the Switzerland manager. Okay.
Yeah.
But
the Swiss Italy. I think the difference here. I think Alessandro Buongiorno is going to get, I believe, the starting shot with Riccardo Calafiori out for Italy, and that hurts. Obviously, you don't have Riccardo Calafiori, you don't have that Zaccagni goal, that wonder goal to get them into this. They scraped by, and I get
Feel
I get
sorry, mate, for
Spalletti's
Croatia.
trying to turn it around and say that they fully deserved that goal. They fully deserved that win or that draw, I should say. I think he's getting a little ahead of himself, and I think the Swiss are very, very good in this. They're built for something like this. You have guys like Shaqiri and Breel Mbolo who, while they're injured the majority of the time when they play in a club, they seem to always play peak when it comes to the Euros or when it comes to the World Cup. So I think that's going to be tough. And then, Fabian Schär, Akanji, Jan Sommer, like you mentioned. I mean, this is a very good spine. With Granit Xhaka as well. These are all winners for the most part.
True.
So I'm going to say the Swiss beat Italy, and I'm going to say England is going to beat Slovakia, and it will be England versus Switzerland. And I think that is where things are going to get thorny for Gareth Southgate. Harry Kane needs to wake up against Slovakia if England's going to beat Switzerland.
This man's going so
That's
bold.
a thought. It's a feeling.
This guy,
It's a feeling.
maybe Granit Xhaka would be a better manager than Gareth Southgate. That's the feeling we're getting. No, but people, this is a prediction you can do. 5 to 10 years prediction. Granit Xhaka will be a manager. The way he conducts himself, you can clearly feel it already. Arteta, I think, is into that. And Xabi Alonso, too. He's played with Xabi Alonso and Arteta. Who has done that in the last 3 years? Think about it. Granit Xhaka, elite experience, as we see. But yeah, Bretson, I like it. You went so bold. I'm not going to be the bold guy in this one with that. I'm going to be bold if Portugal wins, but not in this one, okay? I think Italy will beat Switzerland. I think the favorites do.
Fair enough.
Will do that. But I won't be surprised like an underdog. I think a true underdog in Euro 2024 is Austria, Georgia, and Romania. I don't put Switzerland in that sentence right now, okay? Switzerland growingly have been a consistent team going through the knockout stages of the Euros, and they deserve this status. So, yes, Italy, England is my prediction.
And I that's great because Donnarumma on form, we sometimes forget, one, how young he still is, two, how good and how world-class this man can be at a time. And he has kind of shown that in this tournament, right? I mean, the first couple games, he reminded us of that. And you've got Jan Sommer versus Donnarumma. We remember what Jan Sommer did against France in the last edition of the Euros. So there's so much to be excited about in this particular game. I just don't think it's going to be the goal fest, because we haven't figured out where the goals come from for Italy. Yet, unless it's some Franz Beckenbauer-like run from Ricardo Calafiori with a pass off to Zaccagni. I don't think that's going to... Well, it can't replicate itself because I don't think anyone else is going forward like Calafiori does. And he's not in this match. So, it's going to be a really fun one. I think it's going to be a defensive kind of a goalkeeper battle for sure.
So let me ask you this. So who has been the goalkeeper of Euro 2024 until now for you? Unai Simon, Mamarchvili, Anatoly Trubin, Mike Magnan, Gianluigi Donnarumma. Who's your choice?
Mamarchvili for sure. Probably a little bit of recency effect in that, but obviously that performance against Portugal alone.
Czech Republic, mate. 11 saves.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Against Czech Republic. 2. And that's two of the 3 games where he was lights out. So I just, I gotta throw his name in there. Mike Magnan, I guess, deserves a little bit of a shout, but Donnarumma in the first game, he was phenomenal. But for me, I think it's hands down Mamarchvili, and then I'd say from a golden ball perspective, N'Golo Kante, I didn't mention him for France before. I mean, I know Camavinga's on the bench. I know we've got Tchouaméni that's not playing in a role that he probably really wants to.
I'd take Rabiot and put Camavinga. I wouldn't take Kante.
Well, true. But like N'Golo Kante, I was not expecting him to be able to snap back after a 2-year hiatus.
True.
To be able to just kind of, hey, here's me at peak form again.
Exactly.
But him with Toni Kroos, I mean, run it back, man. Run it back, and they're up there for golden ball at the moment. They really are.
Bold. I think the best midfield until now with the group stages of Euro 2024 would be N'Golo Kante. Might have a match in 2 games. I'd put Toni Kroos, the king of efficiency, and I'd put Fabien Ruiz maybe. He's been a stud for Spain, or Kevin De Bruyne, or Florian Wirtz. But let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know your midfield or your goalkeeper. Some bold choices have been done just right here. But if you're listening until now, comment down below to get a hoodie. You've heard our predictions. We made it easy for you to comment down below. We want to hear yours, people, okay? And like this video in order to get the hoodie too, okay? Just it's a simple like, people. It helps us so much. So just a quick recap. We agree. So yours, I'm going to say mine. So I go with Spain, Germany against, on the left side of Euro 2024 bracket, I put Spain, Germany, and Portugal, France. And at the right side, I put Netherlands, Austria against England and Italy. Comment on YouTube if you agree. What are your choices?
Yeah. I pretty much have everything the same. Spain, Germany, Portugal, France on the left side of the bracket. And I've got Netherlands, Austria, England. This is where we defer. Switzerland. And I'm a little sad at us. I feel like we should have. There will be. I was not bold enough to pick one. I do believe that one of those
big ones, upset.
One of them is going to get upset in the round of 16. It always happens. It will happen. I don't think it'll be Portugal, but I'm going to say
we lost to them in
Belgium
March.
over France. I'm going to say Belgium over France, man. I'm going to say something weird, but I have France registered as my pick. But Belgium, I think, I don't think they're going to go further than that, but I think they'll get a little bit of magic this time around.
Oh, people, you see, we commented, we said everything we had to. Now you, please, go bold, like this video, subscribe to FC Wonder Kid and Bretson. Thank you for going bold with that last part with Switzerland. It's phenomenal to see. So yes, exciting times. Let's go bold, people. Thank you for listening.
Enjoy.